With our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, second verse. We read from Prabhupada's purport. Over and above this, Srimad Bhagavatam is a personal commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Sri Vyasadeva. It was written in the maturity of his spiritual life through the mercy of Narad. So we'll when we come to this chapter, or when Narad Muni comes and instructs Vyasadeva, we'll read that, how he instructed Vyasadeva. Shri Vyasadeva is the authorized incarnation of Narayan, the personality of Godhead. Vyasadeva also has different names in every Dwapar Yuga. He comes towards the end of Dwapar Yuga. So in this Dwapar Yuga, his what is called? But Badrayani Vyasadeva, because he had his ashram in Badrinath. And his also name is Ved Vyas, because Vyas means to expand. So he expanded all the Vedas. So his name is Ved Vyas also. And in this incarnation, when he came towards the end of Dwapar Yuga, because Krishna does not come in every Dwapar Yuga, he comes only in once in a day of Brahma. In a day of Brahma, there are 1,000 Dwapar Yugas. So only once in a day of Brahma, Krishna appears towards the end of Dwapar Yuga. And so this Vyasadeva, who appeared towards the end of Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna appeared, he's a special one. That is considered he's a special one, and he's incarnation of Narayan. He's called literary incarnation of Krishna himself. Other times, Vyasadevs could be any living entity who's qualified to be at that post. Just like, I think it is said that this current Ashwatthama, who was in Dwapar Yuga, the son of Dronacharya, he will be Vyasadeva next cycle. So, but the Vyasadeva which came when he compiled this Srimad Bhagavatam towards the end of Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna himself came, so he himself is incarnation of Krishna, literary incarnation of Krishna. So the Prabhupada writes, so this Srila Vyasadeva is authorized incarnation of Narayan, the personality of Godhead. Therefore, there is no question as to his authority. So whatever he has given is perfectly all right. He is the author of all other Vedic literatures, yet he recommends the study of Srimad Bhagavatam above all others. In other Puranas, there are different methods set forth by which one can worship the demigods. So Puranas, there are, as we know, there are 18 Puranas. So 6 Puranas, I don't remember the list. 6 Puranas are for people in mode of goodness, 6 for people in mode of passion, and 6 for people in mode of ignorance. That's what Prabhupada is writing. In other Puranas, there are different methods set forth by which one can worship the demigods. But in Bhagavatam, only the Supreme Lord is mentioned. Only the worship, service of Krishna is mentioned. The Supreme Lord is a total body, and the demigods are the different parts of that body. So all the demigods, they basically come from Krishna. Consequently, by worshipping the Supreme Lord, one does not need to worship the demigods. By worshipping the Supreme Lord, one does not need to worship the demigods. It's just like later on this example comes, if one puts the water at the root of a plant, root of a tree, then the water automatically goes to all the branches, all the leaves, all the twigs, all the fruits, all the flowers. So one does not need to go and water each and every leaf or each and every twig of that plant. So similarly, Krishna is a root, Krishna is the upholder of everything, the whole universe, he is a source. So if we are worshipping Krishna, then that's what Prabhupada is writing, one does not need to worship any other demigod. The Supreme Lord becomes fixed in the heart of the devotee immediately. This is what is mentioned in the words avrudhyate. He becomes fixed in the heart of the devotee immediately, who's worshipping him properly, who's worshipping him with all the faith, all the surrender, all the devotion, all the determination. Then Krishna becomes fixed. Avrudhyate. Rudhyate means, fixed is one word that Prabhupada has used. Another word that can be used is he gets stuck. He cannot get out. He gets so stuck in the heart of a devotee that even if Krishna wants, or even if the devotee wants, he doesn't get out. Because Krishna is also bent at three places. He's not a straightforward person. So once that kind of, if somebody which is bent at three places, it gets stuck somewhere, it doesn't come out easily. So Krishna does not come out from the heart of his devotee. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended the Srimad Bhagavatam as a spotless Purana and distinguishes it from all other Puranas. That is the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. The proper method for receiving this transcendental message is to hear it submissively. That's the way to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. To hear it submissively, not challengingly. This is how Parikshit Maharaj heard it from Shukdev Goswami. This is how 88,000 rishis in Naimisharanya, they heard it from Sud Goswami. And in fact, Narad Muni also heard it from four Kumaras in Haridwar. So, and he heard it very submissively. A challenging attitude cannot help one realize this transcendental message. One particular word is used herein for proper guidance. This word is shushrushu. One must be anxious to hear this transcendental message. So the two qualities are already given. One must be submissive and one must be anxious to hear this transcendental message. The desire to sincerely hear is a first qualification. So the desire, strong desire, and to hear submissively. And also, when we go through the story of Parikshit Maharaj and those 88,000 sages, they were very desperate. They were not just anxious. They were desperate to hear this message of Srimad Bhagavatam. For them, it was like a matter of life and death. They really wanted to hear. And that's when Krishna arranged for them to hear, for Sud Goswami or Shukdev Goswami to speak to different audience. So this quality has to be there. Otherwise, we will, even if we hear it, it will just go from one ear and get out of another ear. But when the desperation is there, real strong desire is there, then the message goes from both the ears and goes to the heart. And then it gets down to the heart. Then we are trying to work on that message. We are trying to implement those teachings in our lives. When we are really desperate, it's not a matter of just attending some class. No. The desperation has to be there to hear. I want to hear. I want to see. I want to taste. I want to implement this message. What exactly is Srimad Bhagavatam? Prabhupada is further writing, less fortunate persons are not at all interested in hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam. So I guess we all are very fortunate that Prabhupada's mercy, he has made this arrangement for this class and we can hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day. The process is simple, but the application is difficult. Unfortunate people find enough time to hear idle social and political conversations. But when invited to attend a meeting of devotees to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, they suddenly become reluctant, or they indulge in hearing the portion of the Bhagavatam that are unfit to hear. Sometimes professional readers of Bhagavatam immediately plunge into the confidential topics of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. which they seemingly interpret as sex literature. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be heard from the very beginning, from first canto, first chapter, first verse. So that's why many times we get sentimental about, oh, there's Bhagavatam Katha happening in my neighborhood, there's Bhagavatam Saptaha happening in my neighborhood. Let me go here, let me see what is it all about. It has both plus and minus effects. Plus is, yes, the anxiety, anxiousness is there, desire is there to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. But the negative side of it is, if the speaker is not proper, if the speaker is not coming from any parampara, and if the speaker does not follow the process that Shukdev Goswami followed, then the message will not take any effect. Then there will be a problem. Or it can take a wrong, effect. Let me mute Gita. So it might have a wrong impression or bad effect on our consciousness. So we have to be careful from whom we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Ankita ji, please turn off your mic. Okay. Well, I didn't ask her to leave, but somehow she left. Sometimes professional readers of the Bhagavatam immediately plunge into the confidential topics of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, which they seemingly interpret as sex literature. So that's also a problem. They immediately try to jump to the 10th canto and those 5 chapters of Bhagavatam, where Krishna's pastimes, confidential pastimes of Raslila and other pastimes of gopis are described. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be heard from the beginning. Those who are fit to assimilate this work are mentioned in this shloka. One becomes qualified to hear Srimad Bhagavatam after many pious deeds. After many pious deeds, one becomes qualified to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. The intelligent person with thoughtful discretion can be assured by the great sage Vyasadeva that he can realize the Supreme Personality directly by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the beauty, or this is the potency of Srimad Bhagavatam. Only thing one has to do is just hear it submissively and with anxiety, lots of anxiousness, lots of desperateness. Then the effect will be there. It's just, this process is very simple and very beautiful. All one has to do is hear Bhagavatam. Ankita ji, please mute yourself. Okay. Without undergoing the different stages of realization, as set forth in the Vedas, one can be lifted immediately to the position of Paramhansa simply by agreeing to receive this message. So this is how powerful it is. See this line, last line of the purport. Without undergoing the different stages of realization set forth in the Vedas, means different stages of realization means one goes from say Karma Kanda to Gyan Kanda to Dhyan Yoga, or Karma Kanda to Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, or Karma Yoga, and then goes to Bhakti Yoga. One can be lifted immediately to the position of Paramhansa simply by agreeing to receive this message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you imagine the potency of the message of Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So that's why we have to hear it. Or reading is also considered as good as hearing. So we have to do that process, take up that process, very desperately, very submissively, and very with an intense desire that I want to read and I want to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then it will definitely take effect. So here the purport finishes. If anybody has any question, I'll unmute you all. Over. Any questions or comments? And how the verse beautifully says, let me get to the verse. Sadhyo hridya avruddhet atra kritibhi shushrubhis tat kshanat. Tat kshanat means immediately, right away. It doesn't even take long time, without delay. That's how powerful Srimad Bhagavatam is. And what to do with it? Shushrubi. Shushrubi means we have to hear it from the right persons. And then what happens? Avruddhyate, sadhyo hridi avruddhyate means Krishna, he gets fixed, he gets stuck, he gets blocked in the heart of the person who's hearing this message of Srimad Bhagavatam attentively. That's all. How easy this process is. Other processes like Jnana Yoga, one has to read so many scriptures. One has to try to understand the meaning of those scriptures, so those verses in many different ways, try to come to some conclusion. Then Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga system, it's very difficult. One has to go to the forest, go to the Himalayas and go to a solitary place and perform this Ashtanga Yoga and then try to control the senses. Bhagavatam, no such thing. Just here, sit down here. One can eat, one can, like you, so many of you are doing, going to work, listening to Bhagavatam in the cab. One can just hear Bhagavatam. That's how sweet it is. And next verse is even more sweet. It says, Nigam kalpataror galitam phalam shukmukhadam ridrav samyatam. Means this Bhagavatam is a mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukdev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam. We have to really appreciate the effort of Srila Prabhupada, that he has translated it, he has given his wonderful commentaries for all of us, and in very easy language for all of us to really enjoy Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, it is said by many devotees, just like a little baby is there, the little baby is there, and if he has a desire to eat maybe very heavy food, but it's not good for his stomach and he won't be able to digest it. So what mother does? Mother eats that food and she gives her milk to the little baby. Baby can easily digest that mother's milk because it's coming with so much of love and it is a proper food for the baby. So baby can easily digest and he can get lots of nourishment from that milk. So similarly, it is said that there's so many commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam by so many predecessor acharyas. But if we read those commentaries, it's really very difficult for us to understand in the modern context. So what Srila Prabhupada, what he has done, he as a very loving, caring mother, he has assimilated all the purports, all the commentaries from different acharyas, and then he has understood the commentaries, and he has given his own, added his own realizations, and he has given in the form of milk of a mother that we all are little babies, we all can take, taste, enjoy, and get nourished. Otherwise, other commentaries, if we read, it's very difficult for us to understand. And Prabhupada is given in very simple language, very easy to understand English, and the examples he has given that are very good. We can connect them with the day-to-day settings. So Prabhupada has given wonderful commentaries and very easy to understand. So this is our request to all of you. Please read these purports every day. And now with Radhakrishna Prabhuji's mercy, we have these classes online. So we have this wonderful opportunity that we can really make use of. So if anybody has any questions, otherwise we'll stop here and meet on Saturday morning.
Prabhuji, not tomorrow?
Tomorrow, everybody should enjoy Holi.
Okay.
Gaur Purnima is
Okay.
there.
Yes, yes. Okay. Sure. Thank you, Prabhuji.
We will be having Bhagavatam class on Saturday morning as well. Because you said Saturday, Sunday is a Gita class. So
Yeah, but Saturday evening I have a program to attend.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so Saturday I think we'll have the class in the morning only then. And for Sunday, Radha Prabhu was deciding or trying to hold a class at his house in the evening. So let's see how it works out. And Sunday evening, if there is a class at his place, or if we do it online, or we can do both from his place online also, we'll have the class on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because tomorrow is Gaur Purnima, so we'll have class on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on Sunday. Okay, so I guess we should take a leave.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Happy
you all
Holi
very
to all.
much. Thank
Happy
you.
Holi.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Happy Holi to all. Jai Srila Prabhupada.